Hey, I am here in Durham, North Carolina at Organic Transit. I'm with Rob Cotter. He's one of the founders. How's it going, Rob?
Good, how are you?
It's awesome. You know, we were just talking and kind of touring the office a little bit here. We've got an elf, and I wanted to just, get your take on the company and some of the story and whatever you want to share.
Right. So this is the elf. This is actually still a 1.0, close to being the 1.5. And so it's a solar electric velomobile.
Wow.
See how light that is. Solar panel up top, that's a 100-watt solar panel. We use a few electric aficionados out there. We use a mid-drive electric motor system, and we have a Nuvinci rear hub usually. You can get a 3-speed or an 8-speed SRAM as well. But this is a Trilon body, which is kind of like a kayak, but a lot thinner.
Interesting.
It has a solar coat for UV protection. We built all the molds in-house. We create, about 80 of these parts are our original parts. So like this seat is our seat, for instance. We use race face cranks. We use headsets. This one has Schwabies on it. Some of them have hookworms.
Interesting.
And this is called Con Pearl, which is a really rugged thing. This is called a bulkhead here. This particular one is also carbon fiber back here and on the front nose.
Oh, nice.
We use Lexan on the rear hatchback. They're all hatchbacks.
Okay, and I love that, by the way. The kind of the Velcro keeps it up like that. It's clever.
So you can put obviously a lot of bags of groceries here with some cargo straps, and then you can put a bunch more down in there.
Cool. And you were showing me before, this is like the kind of the controller?
That's the brain box back there.
Brain
that
box.
Controls not only the controller for the motor, but for the lights, for the horn, and the MPPT for the solar panel. And also that's going to be configuring with a DC converter, which will allow USB ports to charge your phone.
Okay, charge your phone. And you mentioned this is a 100-watt solar panel
Yes.
up here? So can you tell me what that means, like how quickly that would charge this and how useful it is? Like, because I love solar and it's cool to see up there, but
Yeah.
I don't know my electronics well enough.
So first off, let me just say this solar panel for us is structural.
Oh.
This is, everything has double and triple duty in everything we do. So this is a rugged piece. It's a flexible panel and mounts basically the two body side panels together. A 100-watt panel on a good sunny day will charge the basic battery pack in as low as like 6 hours.
Wow.
So when you're just riding down the road and you get good solar exposure, it's doing its thing.
Look at that, it goes all the way to the front. And you said it's structural and you talked about UV protection, so could you just wash and wax this like a car? Is that?
Yeah, actually even easier than a car. As you can see, like, that surface looks pretty good, right?
Yeah.
So earlier today, we had about 20 or so older elf owners, they've had them for over a year and stuff. They look just like this.
Huh.
And basically you can spray it with like water and wipe it down. It hardly takes even a Windex. I guess if there's some bird crap on it or something. You can use,
a little elbow grease on there and just
but
kind
it doesn't take much. It takes, the less you do, the better it is.
Okay.
So this one has the Nuvinci Hub. This one has a dashboard holder for the iPhone. We have an app
Like a phone? Okay.
that gives the GPS and speed and miles and things like that.
So I'm looking at the app and you can see it sort of reflecting off the windshield. These guys are working on a design to basically, it's kind of like, I don't know, what was that movie, like Minority Report or whatever? You've got those clear screens and you're kind of setting it up to have a heads-up display while you're driving. And it's got a day and night mode, which is cool. In addition to this sort of GPS navigation system. It's got your miles per hour, all that using GPS. And then it tells you how many calories you're burning as well as CO2 that you're saving. So kind of a neat new feature. They're integrating more and more technology with this already kind of cutting edge light electric vehicle. I like this.
The frame is all aluminum,
Okay.
6061T. All the hardware is stainless steel. There's virtually no paint on this anywhere.
Interesting. Very cool, very cool. And it just seemed, I guess, like a utility kind of a bike. It's, you got pedals down there, it's a bike, but it's a lot more car than a lot of electric bikes I've looked at. You
Sure.
talk about those cargo bag areas. Is there a weight limit on this, or can you tell me about that?
We say basically it's a 350-pound payload. So
Okay.
payload means the rider too.
Got it.
So if you're under 50 pounds, you can easily carry 200 pounds of stuff. But we do have plenty of people, like this one woman goes to farmer's market twice a week with her 300 pounds of pottery, two large folding tables, and then when she's done, she shops and does her grocery shopping for the week.
Wow.
Packs it all in there. So you can put a lot in. We have 2 people going from Montana to Argentina, and 2
What?
children.
Oh my gosh.
25,000 miles.
Jeez,
So,
just charging it along the way, like parking and staying at the beach?
yeah, right. Probably they stay an extra day. So if
Making me jealous. This
Yeah.
sounds amazing.
So the basic battery pack takes you about 14 miles without pedaling and about 30 with.
Okay.
And our advanced battery pack takes you 45 miles without pedaling and 90 with.
Wow. That's impressive. And with the Nuvinci, it's like the continuously variable transmission, so you can really find a proper cadence that matches the speed of...
Absolutely. You know, the Nuvinci is for the pedaling side only. And really the electric side doesn't need that.
Okay.
It's kind of like 2 or 3 people helping you get up the hill.
You're right.
Right, it's like a triple.
Well, and the motor, how many watts did you say? It's a 600-watt motor?
600-watt motor.
So, yeah, I've heard, and, correct me if I'm wrong here, but people who do racing on regular bicycles, it's like their average power output is like 250 or 300. So you think about like a 600-watt motor, and again, that's average, so that's just like spinning.
Right, but actually 250 to 300 watts not even their average.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that's like really cranky.
That's like pros.
Yeah. Well, you know, like there was a guy, Nelson Vales, he had the fastest twitch muscles, right, that they rated, and he had, quads like my torso. And he could put out probably, I'm going to guesstimate like 1,000 watts, 1,100 watts for like 8 seconds.
Like peak output, climbing the hill, standing up.
Well, he was a track rider, so he's
Okay.
a bell drum guy.
Got it.
And so, his 8-second burst is what wins races and things like that. But, the interesting thing about bicycles and riders and efficiency, the stronger they are, the less efficient it all becomes. So if you break it down into a miles per gallon thing, like, because Lance Armstrong on anything,
Right.
let's say a good rider can hit 30 to 33 miles an hour, really going at it. And really creme de la creme can hit like 35 or 37. So, and the peak guys can probably hit about 38, 39 miles an hour. And the higher the speed they're going, the less efficient they're becoming.
Oh, yeah, so much resistance of the wind. And
It truly is exponential. So, when you take advantage of things like aerodynamics,
yeah.
or you take advantage of things like solar,
Right.
or electric, so then that brings it up to like an 1,800 mile per gallon efficiency.
That's awesome. Oh, and I wanted to ask you, okay, so we were talking about this before, and you were like, that's why there are no doors for aerodynamic, and I was like, wait a minute, shouldn't there be doors? And you were like, well, it allows like crosswinds to not buck you around.
So we'll have doors that'll be available for those that really think they need it, but it's really designed to shed water away from the rider, and we have riders riding 40 miles a day in Maine in the winter.
Nice.
And one guy's put over 2,500 miles on it. He said he got wet twice.
Wow.
So this allows the side winds to blow through without like knocking this thing all over the place. And if you ever happen to be in a Volkswagen bus crossing, the Golden Gate Bridge,
or Wyoming, or anywhere
where it's windy, it's like, wow, side winds are a big deal. So aerodynamics is more than just going fast. It's also, what is efficient for what you need.
Right.
What else is going on? What else are you doing? So that's what this is about.
And I want to, it's like we're focused on these new products, but it seems like you've got years and years of experience. You were showing me some of the velomobiles and just the bicycle side of it, and then combining, you and your partners brought that knowledge and are able to produce something here that really is unique. I haven't seen anything quite like this in the space that combines utility and fitness and efficiency. So, it's neat to see. I appreciate the time. I did want to ask, are the batteries replaceable? And because that's
Sure.
Okay, so you just get a pack sent to you. How does that work?
So, shipping them is a unique issue.
I know, right? That's one of those.
So our new 1.5 ELF batteries have the United Nations seal of approval. So we can we have a licensed lithium battery shipper in-house.
Sure, okay.
And still he can only do it with the UN batteries. So like, those cheap batteries you see on eBay, and you get them out of China, and it's like, wow, look at this, amp hours for X amount of dollars. Yeah, well, you don't know really what you're getting.
Right.
It's probably coming to you illegally, but one thing for sure, you can't resend it.
You can't return it, right?
Or you can't resell to somebody else.
I see.
So
So you're following that. That was my other point. It's like we're in this beautiful office. It sounds like you guys have been here for like 6 months. This is the midway through 2014. So it's kind of cool to see the progress you made. And I'm curious. Can you show me around and talk about what's coming up?
Yeah.
Cool.
Up there, actually, that was one of the early prototypes we made out of bamboo.
Bamboo. Oh.
Each one of those panels weighed 6.5 pounds.
Oh man. Super light.
Super light.
And even these ones, that was sort of the 1.5 prototype here, and you said it's only 150 pounds.
Right.
That's
Depending
awesome.
on the battery pack and your options and stuff, but the base unit's 150.
Okay. Here we go. Wow. Look at this. You guys are really cranking them out, it seems like.
So this one actually, this is a rolling prototype all the time. Notice the jump seat in the rear.
Oh, so it's someone like a passenger?
Sure.
Okay.
Or your poodle. And this one has a front suspension.
Oh.
So this is an early prototype version, but that'll be coming out in the 1.5 as standard equipment.
How does the suspension work? Is it those rubber bumper things down there?
Yes, down below, yep.
Yeah, I wanted to. That's something I'm always thinking about because I've got some neck and back issues from snowboarding and surfing and stuff.
Yeah. Welcome to the club.
Right.
And this one actually has a more advanced sliding system too. That's actually part of our creation. Oh. Well, it'll become more and more advanced, but eventually that seat sliding system is going to be one-handed.
Huh.
Pull back, and it's going to have a little gas strut that shoots it back or shoots it forward.
It's like a car, kind of, right?
But even better.
Even better.
You don't have to push it with your feet or anything.
Cool.
But we really want to make it easy for everyone to get in and out. So every time you slide the seat all the way back, you can get out a little easier, right?
Oh, and that's true. To get in this thing, would you just kind of step through like this? Or
Well,
is there
yeah, I'll show you how to do it. But yeah, and it's kind of like getting in and out of a kayak, right? There's always a better way to do it.
Right.
But you know, we're always just constantly iteration of improvements all the time.
That's the impression I got earlier when you were like, we got this model, and we're this model, and this one, we're thinking about this, and there's a juice thing going on.
Right.
By the way, before, I don't want to forget this point. You made it earlier about how, you know, of these sort of, it almost resembles the recumbent, you know, trike, like, I don't know, wheelbase,
Sure.
but you've got these larger diameter, what is this, 26-inch wheel?
That one has 26-inch wheels, that's right. So I can show you, here's one back here without any body on it.
Oh, it's a naked one.
That's
Look
the
at that.
Naked Elf. So it allows us to do a lot of quick testing, but also, you know, some people may want a Naked Elf, but this one has one of the other prototypes for a rear jump seat back here.
Oh, that's okay.
Right, but it also has these large cargo bins.
Interesting.
So we'll do other cargo elves that'll have bins kind of like this. So this is an early one with suspension on it as well. So we can make the changes really quickly. Once you put a body on something and you electrify it and stuff, there's more work involved to make quick changes. So here, that allows that. But it's really kind of a hoot to ride.
It's like the convertible version.
That's right. That's right. And over here, this one is an early police version.
Okay, so this is like your campus security or your, you know, someone cruising around.
Well, the police locally are going to use it to patrol the bike trails.
Oh.
There's been a fair amount of crime on them.
Oh.
Because the people are kind of like sitting ducks, right? They hear the predators know that there's not a lot of security enforcement, and here they are in the woods, kind of, right?
I'd be careful to mess with like an amped up bicycler who's in good shape and they got their legs all pumped up.
Well, a lot of times it's a jogger. And stuff.
Yeah,
Well,
you're right.
But stuff happens. But anyway, here, you know, the police can really scoot to where they have to go. Even another cop can hop in here really quickly to do stuff. We don't have the donut holders currently in here yet.
Oh, no donut holders yet.
But, I mean, we're doing different things with this one, but, you know, it's mostly carbon fiber. We call it a tactical elf.
Okay.
And it has a couple of other structural and performance things that the regular elf doesn't have.
Yeah, interesting. So is this like a riot shield up here? Is it? You mentioned the structural integrity of it.
This one, it will have a thicker windshield. Of course, it'll have blue LED lights.
Oh, with the
Things
siren
like
thing.
that. More carbon fiber tucked in throughout. And they're probably, now it'll depend on who we're talking to and what state, but you know how the bike rules vary from state to state.
Exactly.
So you can bet they probably vary a little bit for police as well, right?
Districts.
It's like,
By the way, is the tire, this is the first time I'm kind of seeing this one up close, and it looks pretty rugged. Is that standard, that tire there?
no, this one's got what we call a cush package.
Push package.
And the cush package, it's kind of a pre-suspension version, whereas the tall diameter on these, I think this is the Kenda tire, really can absorb a lot more shock.
Right.
So it depends, you know, do you want lean and skinny and super efficiency, or you're like, hey, smooth out the ride?
Okay.
So this one has that kind of beefier tire. This one here, we're just playing around. So we're not offering child seats, but people are always saying, like, how do I put my kid
Oh man.
inside an elf? So this would hold like 4 40-pound kids.
Wow.
Right.
It's like a daycare on wheels.
Right, right. So, you know, you think of a cargo bike,
Mm-hmm.
which, you know, I love. I think it's great. But you think of those kids in that big kind of wheelbarrow little dump up there,
Right.
or in the back or whatever. And hey, look, I love it. I think it's great. But it's not for everybody.
Mm-hmm.
And I think something like this, take them in the rain. They're kind of inside your little cocoon.
Yeah.
And you got plenty of power to help get you going what you have to go.
Yeah.
So, yeah, so
cool.
that's one of the things we're messing around with, just so people can see what you can do. You know, so just like a regular bike, you'd buy the bike, and then the bike shop would put the kid seat in it, and that's what we're looking to have them do.
Okay. Neat to see the experimentation.
Let's see. So actually, here's the first elf.
Oh, really?
Yes, first elf.
I think I saw that on Kickstarter.
A prototype in June 2012.
Wow, look at that.
So.
Looks like it's gotten some use.
Oh,
Been out in
yes,
the-
it has.
Oh,
And actually, I don't think we've ever made one lighter. This one was made with like 2 3-ounce layers of glass.
oh,
So super, super light. But, you know, we knew we didn't want to make them out of fiberglass. But it's a great way to prototype something and figure stuff out. Yeah, it's obviously really crude and stuff, but, you know, so
got the job done.
we got the job done. Let us
get
know that
started.
we had the proper ingress and egress with the molds and all that stuff. And then 6 months after this was done, we were in production.
Wow. You guys, I mean, like I said, this shop is pretty impressive to see it operating at this level, and that you're working with the police, and that you're considering the kids. It's, you know, that's a lot of different projects going on.
Right, we'll be doing little food truck versions and all that stuff. But
Cool.
this is all LED lighting. We put in the roof monitors. I don't know if you saw that, to bring in daylight.
Yeah,
And they
that's
vent.
that's important.
Yeah, yeah. And well, we're going to have green walls in here.
Oh, cool.
The roof's going to have beehives, and work with the EPA because there's so much water flowing through it, like every city, flooding, and it hits the creeks and just like wipes them out, right?
Yeah,
So this is
erosion.
going to be kind of a water garden where lots of the rain coming off of all over the place is going to drain into the water gardens here, which is going to fuel a lot of like natural plants.
Cool.
And places for bees and butterflies.
You got your own little gardens and growing food at work.
All
And
these things can kind of go together.
sounds like paradise.
Yeah.
Are you guys hiring? Is this? is
We're
that what-
always hiring. Always hiring. Always looking for good, smart people with tool knowledge.
Okay, great. I'll tell them to check out the site. What is the website, by the way, in case people are? It's like organictransit.com.
Organictransit.com.
Yeah, okay. Oh, and real quick, while we're on the subject of like infrastructure, did I hear something? Are you guys expanding into other states or in other buildings or something like that?
Sure, we're always looking to do that, and we had a relationship, still a little bit, with a Good Karma Bikes in San Jose, where we're training homeless people to become bike mechanics. So we train them how to build elves and give them another revenue stream, and that worked out okay. But you know, with that kind of relationship, there's always other issues that come and complicate things. And we're like, you know, we built 300 units in our first 12 months of production.
Wow.
And we're looking to do 1,200 units. So it's time to bring on the A team, right?
Right. I hear ya. And that's cool. San Jose, California. So that was like a
Right.
pilot program thing.
Right. So, but we are looking to hire somebody in the Bay Area to work with us for repping purposes and deal with policy, some engineering, and also with a lot of the investment community there.
Okay, I'm going to date stamp this as May 2014, just, you know. Okay, so sorry, I interrupted the flow.
That's okay.
What's
That's
this?
Okay. So these are the frames as they're coming together. So as you can see, here's the basic frame, and it's unlike any other frame. And this is 6061T. This is all made in the USA.
Okay, that's cool.
And this is, again, we talked about race face cranks
Yeah.
and a headset we use. Let's see. And then the rest is all us. So this kind of trunk area, this is a locking trunk. I don't know if we noticed on the hatchback, but this locks down.
Huh.
And here's the Nuvinci Hub, which you can see clearly with a rear disc brake.
Right.
So this integrates with the body. So the body is like, and I'll take you over there later on, it's like a ball of jello, right? Until you integrate it into the substructure and the frame. And the frame, actually, not all this is as strong as it can be until it integrates with the body. So
Right.
that's what Bucky Fuller used to call a tensegrity structure. things are both in compression and tension.
I see. It's
And-
like a plane, like those early planes that had like the ribbed wings, and it, you know, the fabric was sort of sensitive and the ribs were sensitive, but when you combine them, you got this incredible strength.
Right, right. So when all the things come together, that's when it clicks, right?
Okay.
And
And there's the motor, right?
there's the motor. That's still one of the Mac motors. So I mentioned that this is a geared motor, but notice free wheels on one side, and of course free wheels on the other. So
Oh, that's important. So you don't
left-
get rolling resistance
that's right.
when you're...
It's left side and right side freewheeling,
Okay.
which is a little bit part of our secret sauce, so to speak.
Uh-oh. Can we leave that in?
Yeah, we can leave it in. Yeah,
I'll wreck
yeah.
ya.
So we build them all bespoke. We build them according to how people are speccing them out.
And speaking of that, you know, we were out in the lobby before, and I noticed that you had sort of the wheel cover, and I was thinking, oh, it's for aerodynamics, and you said actually it's sort of for safety. It creates a better profile.
Right. So we'll show some later on, but like look over here, right? I mean, not that much visual real estate. And
Yeah.
the wheel covers help give this a little more substantive footprint. So look at this one, and then look at that mango colored one over there with the white wheel covers.
Oh,
right?
yeah.
Really kind of jumps out at you.
Stands out much more.
Yeah.
And in terms of, you know, we're here, these are all clean, they look beautiful, you're building them. Do you have any advice for someone buys this and it's like, yay, and then you get a flat? Or, you know, what's the best technique for maintaining one of these?
So first off,
Okay.
I don't know if any other electric bike company does this, but ours come with a 24/7 roadside assistance.
Really?
Yes. So anywhere you break down in maybe all 50 states, I think so, they come out with a flatbed and take you where you got to go.
Oh my gosh, that is so cool. I'm glad I asked. I had no idea.
Yeah.
That's a
Yeah.
neat policy.
And the other part is really designed so a good bike shop should be able to do everything that needs to be done.
It does look like a lot of bike parts I've seen. It's just like a 200 millimeter, you know, rotor here, and
Yep.
you know, yeah, Avid stuff, bicycle.
Right,
Yeah.
right. And we actually use, let's see, when we go back over here. So here's our axle, which is a 20 millimeter through axle,
Huh?
which is about the size of a like 64 Mustang axle.
Really?
But it's also what they use in downhill bikes.
I've seen that. Yeah, like the big downhill because it needs to be sturdy and keep the wheel
Right.
straight.
That pin's just to the outside that's threaded on
I'm
there.
gonna look through. Look at that. That's cool. Okay.
And but like these, like this is a Delrin type of pillar block, so it's really light, super strong. And we get them out of Germany. So certain key components that we know that's what we want.
Right.
Keep the weight down and really strength and reliability.
I'm feeling a lot of, you know, quality here, and it's frankly, it's pretty surprising just the price point that you guys are able to hit with this. I've looked at a lot of bikes, and some of them are 10,000, even, you know, 20,000. Some of those are just fun, like artistic, but you get a lot for your bang for your buck.
You get a lot of bang for your buck, and the reality is, on those first 50 that we sold on Kickstarter, we lost a lot of money in each one of those, and that was intentional. And then as time went on, we started losing less money because of quantities and ironing out the details.
Yeah.
You know, now the base price is $5,500, which is still not a lot of money. But if you add up the components, the lithium-ion batteries, the solar panels, the motors,
Right.
the controllers for the solar panels, all these things add up immensely. And we're not even talking about, oh, it's got a body.
Right.
Oh, carbon fiber. Oh, yeah, a frame. Right. You know, a dashboard. So, like, this is reminiscent of like a Jaguar carburetor linkage from the 50s and 60s. These Heim joints and all stainless and aluminum. Really cool stuff. And really, you know, not a lot of corrosion can even take place here.
That's another, yeah, we were talking about the aluminum before, and I was like, oh, that's great. You're not getting as much rust. And I suppose you still, you know, oil your chain and do some of that. But I like these tubes, I noticed, that probably protect the chain a little bit and keep
Sure.
your pants clean.
Keep your pants out of the chain, right? That's
Right.
the basic thing there.
Huh.
So we'll go over here to the body side.
Okay.
And so like here's a lot of our struts that go in between the body panels and the frames and things like that. You know, they're connected all together.
Cool.
And for a while we were able to use a lot of upcycled aluminum. We get them from scrap yards.
Oh,
but
cool.
as volume increases, you really can't do it anymore, right?
Well, and I mean, at least you're trying. You mentioned sort of the health of your employees with the lighting and probably the health of the community, the LED the lights. What I meant was the, you know, the ceiling up there and the rain collection. It really seems like you're sort of eating your own dog food, so to speak.
Right, so let's make it good dog food.
Right, yeah.
So here's how the bodies, they come in over there like that.
Okay.
And then when they get here, we put them on these tables and we put the wiring harnesses inside. We mount on the LED brake lights, tail lights,
Sweet.
blinkers, and put in some of the little grommets. Sometimes when they're out of here, we put the side windows on. We mount the fenders on. Here, this one has a fender on it.
Oh, yeah.
And
that big thing.
yeah, so, and if you notice, all the reinforcements, wherever they're mounted, we call those gloves. So that allows us to use a very thin plastic for the body, and then where they're mounted, we double and triple that thickness.
Okay, great. So it's weight and strength.
Yes, yes.
That's
And
nice.
so really that's kind of a simple part. Here's the wiring harnesses before they go in. As you can see, not like your typical bicycle,
No.
right? Because when you got 4 turn signals, tail lights, brake lights, all that stuff has to happen, and the solar component. So the same company that makes wiring harnesses for like American LaFrance fire trucks and for racing yachts, Beneteau and stuff with like lots of, you know, sonar and GPS and everything, they make the wiring harnesses for us.
That's cool.
Yeah, so we were building them in-house, and, you know, part of our methodology is we build it in-house for as long as we think we should, and then once we perfected it, we find other people that can do it better and cheaper.
Right. Well, that's great. That's the economies of scale you're talking about.
Here's that Con Pearl, which, so this is a rear deck lid here.
Huh.
Oh, yes, this is a rear deck lid, and this just gets Velcroed into place. But if you look at it, it's pretty cool stuff, right?
Yeah, it was neat. I was kind of touching it before on the.
So this comes out as like 2
1.5.
narrow pieces of plastic. They run it through the oven. When it heats up, these little blisters pop up from the heat.
Cool.
It's really just wonderful stuff. So
You said it's from Germany?
it's from Germany. We get it out of South Carolina. I think they use it at the BMW plants.
Oh, okay. So yeah, you mentioned that too. A lot of the components are sourced sort of domestically United States stuff.
Right.
That's
right.
cool.
Let me show you something else here. So you see these are cut, right? Simple 2D cuts. Not a
Right.
big deal. But here's like a brain box mounted on there.
Oh yeah, that's the thing that we were looking at.
Yeah.
Cool.
So we've been doing, this is a recent acquisition which is called a ShopBot, and this is a 4-axis 5x10 vacuum table CNC. Now this is basically, this machine is made in Durham here.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Cool.
And when you go to their place, they got ShopBots making more ShopBots.
Oh no, they're making each other. There's a
Only
word
making
for
L's,
that.
making L's. I love that. But
Sweet.
yeah, so not only do we, so when we cut out, like if someone's doing that bulkhead by hand, it'd be like 45 minutes or whatever, you know, they want to get it right. So now one pops out about every minute.
Wow.
But the other part is when we built the molds for the body, I built them, I did a rough cut on a ShopBot that was at Tech Shop.
Oh, I've been to tech shops before.
Okay.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah, and then we actually launched it at Maker Fair.
Oh, sweet.
But I couldn't get enough time at Tech Shop to do what I needed to get done, right? I mean,
see.
the bodies are not small.
Yeah.
So after 2 sessions, I realized, wow, this will never get
It's
done.
not going to scale.
I
Yeah.
went ahead and cut down the resolution, made some very rough cuts, and I did it all by hand. So I put about maybe 900 hours into those molds,
Wow.
and you know, that was great. I'm happy, right? I love to get the contextual deep into it, right? But now I'm going to do the new body panels, molds out of this. And that means like dumping the CAD drawings,
Right.
80 hours later, here they
A
are.
lot faster.
Yeah.
This is sweet. One more thing I wanted to add. Rob was telling me about this 100 elf program, and for every 100 elves they sell, they donate one to a needy community. Is that what you?
Right.
This is the lounge back here?
VIP lounge, yeah.
Look at that. It looks,
It came with the place.
it's like a really big elf, kind of. Right? This has been a pleasure. I definitely want to take a test ride and, you know, shoot some reviews. But and any other words? Any closing thoughts?
It's really, really exciting to see not only, you know, this vehicle evolve the way it has, but then what people do with it for themselves. Like I mentioned, they're going to Argentina.
Right.
They're, you know, delivering stuff to farmers markets, or disabled people finally driving again that like are legally blind or they have strokes and things, and they're hopping in and going. You know, we're looking to fill that space of all those different types of vehicles that are between a bicycle and a car. And we're also looking to make a big move into the shared economy as well.
Yeah, I can feel it, and it's
Yeah.
awesome. So
Yeah.
thank you so much, Rob. I appreciate it.
Thank you.